Welcome to Noona Ya Business Podcast, episode 29, Chemistry 101, with your hosts, Becca and Megan. Did you buy your back-to-school supplies? We hope so. Grab your notebook and a pen, because today we're taking Chemistry 101. We dive into some of our ultimate K-drama power couples and the relationships we cannot forget about. We also discuss some of the actors and actresses who make explosive reactions with all of their co-stars. Spoiler, Becca is Megan's favorite Lehman disappointment. We end with the game If BTS Were Relationship Milestones. Find out why Yoongi would be a midnight diaper change and Jungkook would be a day on the couch. That's what you're in for today on Noona Ya Business. All right, here we go.
Test.
How are you?
Okay. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm unreasonably tired for no reason.
Well, happy Yogium. It's Thursday.
Happy TGIY.
TGIY. If anybody missed our last podcast,
You should go back and check it out.
1 full hour of games. We did Got 7 was one of our games as days of the week. And Megan beautifully said that Yogium from Got 7 would be a Thursday.
Doesn't he just scream Thursday?
Because he's just savage enough to be like, yeah, it's not Friday.
To be like, you have to do this again tomorrow. You feel like you shouldn't have to, but you still have to.
And I actually had a very Yu-Gi-Oh morning because our other game was Got 7 is times of the day.
Very Yu-Gi-Oh morning.
And I said he would be that Thursday morning where you, like Wednesday night, you gave yourself a pep talk about how you're going to have the perfect morning.
Yes.
And then you wake up Thursday and you're like, nah.
Actually, that sounds like a bad idea.
Pass. And that's the morning I had.
That's every day for me, I swear.
So it's
Except
TGIY, and I had a Yu-Gi-Oh morning.
The night before, I'm never like, you're going to have a productive day tomorrow. I'm like, you have to get up in the morning. You have to go to work. And then I'm like, fine. And I do it.
All I wanted to do last night was watch Fight My Way because I am so close to
You're
being
almost
done.
finished, aren't you?
I'm so close, and I'm loving it. And something very dramatic just happened with the 2 side characters that I'm in love with.
Yeah, you've mentioned before you would watch a whole show about them.
I love those 2 characters. And it's something that you just don't think they're going to come back from. And I'm honestly nervous if they're going to come back from it or not.
Oh, my God.
And so I'm lying in bed, and my husband had to travel for work. And every 2 minutes, some child just wandered in. At one point, I thought my front door was open and just random children were coming into my home
Because you're like, I don't even know these kids anymore.
And then my baby daughter was up all night. And then my alarm went off at 4:30 for me to go work out. And it woke up my baby, but my husband wasn't there to take care of her. So I didn't get to work out, but I still had to be awake. And it was like, ugh.
On the bright side, you didn't have to work out.
That's true.
Fight My Way. I do really like it, and I think that the writing is incredible, and I think the acting is incredible, but for some reason I'm just so slow getting through it.
Really?
I think it's just partially the way that I consume dramas right now, which is slowly. And I'm very overwhelmed with happiness because I have like my top 3 dudes throughout the week because Yoon Se-yoon is in a show. Yoon Se-jong's in a show, and you do June is in a show.
The U's and the U's.
Good.
Did
I just mix one of them up? You do. Hang on.
Those are your men.
Why am I struggling so hard?
What 3 shows are you watching? Let's Eat season 3.
Yes. Still 17.
Oh, okay. I've seen the previews.
And Dear Judge is Yoon Se-yoon. Oh, God. You guys, I forgot. How did I forget? It's been less than a year since the best hit. And I must have let it slip my mind how devastatingly lovable Yoon Se-yoon is. I just love him.
I have not heard you mention that show at all. I kind of feel like you're keeping things. What else
Dear
are you
Judge.
keeping from me?
That's it, I swear. That's it. But those I just watched. Those are coming out still, and so I don't know why I don't watch at night. I usually would go up and like binge on Fight My Way at night, but it's because I discovered fan fiction. Honestly, so
yes.
I like to read before bed.
Nothing wrong with that.
Okay, wait. Yoon do no? Yeah, Yoon do June, and then is it? Young Sejong. Man, I really confused myself there for a second. Okay, what were we?
Yoon, you, and Young.
Yeah, yes.
That's a mouthful.
They fill up my week.
They fill up your mouth.
Seriously.
And your week.
I am overwhelmed with happiness because at least once a week, or 2 nights a week at least, I get my fellas.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
Tomorrow's Friday.
Yes.
Or I guess this will publish tomorrow. So today is Friday.
TGIJB.
TGIJB. Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you to all of our listeners who have been sending us very sweet comments this week.
We've gotten some really great ones.
And we've got probably 5 new listener emails in 1 week.
Update from last week. I emptied my mailbox.
Oh, thank God, Megan.
I just went delete. So
I'm so proud of you.
I'm getting emails again.
So feel free to email Megan because I was the only one getting them for a while.
Such an idiot. It's such a me thing to do. Thank God there are 2 of us, and one of us is responsible, and it's you.
Anyway, we thought, do we have any other updates? Oh, our RunBTSKindnessChallenge.
Oh yeah.
Megan did on Tuesday wrote letters
Yes.
to a bunch of people that she loves
On paper, and then I put stamps on them.
What is that?
So the craziest thing, they're these like blue, they're not boxes. They're like rounded domed bins. And if you put a letter in it, someone will come and take it to the person that you want to send a letter to.
No flippin' way.
And it's all real.
Tell me more.
You can hold it in your hands. It's actually quite dangerous because if you've been paper cut before, you know it's very dangerous. So
this is a ringing endorsement. This podcast is brought to you by the United States Postal Service.
mail. the email of the past. But seriously, who doesn't love to get mail, right?
I thought that was so sweet of you.
It was, I was inspired by a guy I went to graduate school with who, for his New Year's resolution, he decided he was going to start writing letters to the people that he cared about. And I hadn't seen him in like years. And one day I got a letter in the mail from him just saying, thank you for being my friend. And I'm happy that we got to know each other. And it was like, this is one of the best feelings I've had in a long time.
What a great way to show little happiness.
I copied it
Megan.
off of Jessie. That one goes out to Jessie. I should write you a letter. I didn't.
Aww.
Yeah.
Mine is a little more boring.
No, it's way better.
I signed up to give blood, but I haven't done it yet. My appointment is actually Monday. It got rescheduled.
Oh.
So,
do you know your blood type?
I believe I'm an A negative.
I don't know mine.
You don't know your blood type?
No, and neither do my parents. Is that bad?
No.
Okay.
You didn't test it in like college or anything? Science class?
Nope. Science class.
Science.
My science class, to fulfill my science credit, was called Dinosaurs, fact, or fiction. Spoiler alert, fact.
Your high school or
college?
Oh my gosh.
College. And I was like, this is going to be a breeze. It was so hard.
What school did you go to?
I went to a very good school. I went to a very good accredited university.
I feel like this is one of those like online schools.
It was not. It was like a physical campus. I had to go there. I paid them a crap ton of money that I'll never get back. Which I actually have a lot of thoughts about going to college. I say, why bother? Mm-hmm. Because all I have is a debt and no skills. Honestly. I won't say the name of my university now because it seems like I'm ragging on them. It's not them. It's all universities. They're pointless. If you're in college right now, study hard. You can do it. You're not wasting your time. But like, if you're not in college yet, maybe don't go. Save your money. I feel like anyone can become an Instagram star now, and you should just channel your energy into that.
Create your own YouTube channel.
You got
quite
this.
simple.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't take our advice, just in case anyone's thinking about it. But I don't even remember what I was talking about. I'm so out of it. I've been apologizing to Becca for the last 3 days because I feel like I am walking in a haze attributed to literally nothing other than it's summer, I guess.
Yeah.
But I'm so out of it. What were we? Mail and blood. Blood and science classes. Mail, blood, and science. The Noona Ya Business story.
Behind the scenes of Noona Ya Business. Male blood in science class. Has very little to do with our podcast.
The other science credit I tried to take was environmental studies, and I had to withdraw because I was failing. And I went to my dean and I'm like, I'm bad at this class. What do I do? I'm going to fail. And he was like, sometimes the W for withdraw on your transcript stands for wisdom. I was like, you're the best dean. So yeah, anyway, we were talking about, what are we talking? What's going on?
Well, actually, this is a nice segue.
Yes.
If we want to jump in already.
Oh my God. It's like we planned it.
We didn't. I feel like we're really good at this. 29 episodes in. Holy cow, we're 30 next time.
We finally get to have some fun. Once you turn 30, it's fun.
Can we wear party hats underneath giant
Only
party
if
hats?
you bring a giant party hat. You know, I'm looking around Becca's office right now because I know there's a stash of party hats in here somewhere.
There is. They're in that blue bin behind you.
Yep, she's always got a party hat.
Anyway, it only took us 29 episodes to just free form, let the talk flow from the intro right into our topic. Because we don't plan it anymore. It just happens.
Speaking of science classes, Becca, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about chemistry.
Look what we did there.
But not petri dishes and goggles.
What
We're
are
talking
those?
about chemistry between a man and a woman.
Meow.
Can you just make random noises all the time?
Oh, absolutely. I'm the sound effects guy on annoying morning radio shows. That's all I've ever wanted.
You are hitting it, girl. You've reached your peak right there. Meow.
Thank you. Meow.
So we've been giving a lot of attention to K-pop recently.
We have.
Rightfully so.
It deserves a lot of attention.
There's a lot of stuff happening.
Yes.
Then we had our last episode that was just fun and games because that's what we felt like doing.
We needed it.
And you know what? This is our show where we just get together and kind of do what we want to do.
It's where I text Becca at like 4 p.m. on a Thursday and I'm like, hey, I'm still coming over. And she's like, all right.
And I texted her back, oh, I totally forgot. What do you want to do tonight?
But that's okay because don't worry, we have lots of ideas.
Mm-hmm. So, chemistry.
I feel like this is going to be a little freeform. Our syllabus isn't set.
Yeah, Becca didn't really prepare.
Which, you know, I didn't. But I did make a list of some of the shows that I've watched where I feel like the chemistry was off the charts. Or a few actors or actresses who I think have incredible chemistry with everyone. So maybe I'll just throw those out at you and we can talk about that.
That would be perfect, because that's what I was mostly thinking of in my head was actors and actresses who just have the best chemistry. It doesn't matter who they're partnered with.
I bet
There's a few of those. I bet we have the same ones in mind.
I picked one woman and one man.
Oh, that have the ultimate chemistry?
And they've never been in a show with each other.
Oh,
I know.
See, I almost
Do you want to guess?
I could guess who they would be, but the fact that you said they've never been in a show together knocks out the man.
Well, I know you're going to guess the woman.
Yeah, I know
because we've
for
talked
sure.
about her so many times as being
the chemistry
yes.
guru.
I think I've seen her called the Chemi Queen before by blogs and stuff because she has chemistry with everybody.
Well, I'm going to guess Gong Hyo Jin.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yay!
It is Gong Hyo Jin, Our Lady of K-Dramas.
Our Lady. I forgot we called her that.
Our Lady of K-Dramas.
Gong Hyo Jin. The year of our Lord, Gong Hyo Jin.
Yes. She is insanely good with everyone.
Yeah.
Which is funny because I feel like, and this is something that I love about her, like as far as being beautiful, she is beautiful. Mm-hmm. But she's not like, oh my God, everyone stop the presses. It's the most stunning woman I've ever seen.
Yes.
She's obviously not normal pretty. She's much prettier than like us. But not you. You're stunning. No. Me. She's much prettier than me. But I feel like she has that a beauty about her that is like it radiates from the inside out. So
yes.
Even if it's just like overwhelmingly beautiful and it's so much of it is just her personality and her manner. I say personality. I never met her. But anyway, I wrote down a couple shows that I see her as being especially great with the actor.
All right, let's get these out there because I bet we have the same ones in common.
Pasta. Which is funny because they barely even kiss in that show.
No, I think they kissed once.
And a bus drives past or something.
And then at the end, I was so... Spoiler if you haven't seen Pasta. I was so mad at the ending of that show because she doesn't end up going on like this world-renowned chef school thing. I don't remember exactly what it is. Because he convinces her to stay with him and so they can date.
Yeah.
So first off, my feminine alarms were like, danger.
You're like, this guy seems... Also, actually, looking back on that show, I think we've said before, that was both of our first K-drama. Mm-hmm. And we loved it. We loved it enough that it kept us into K-dramas. Mm-hmm. But, like, thinking back now, I'm kind of going, he wouldn't let women work in his kitchen.
Yes.
Is that even legal?
I don't think so.
I feel like that's not legal.
I think that's what sexism is.
I think that's that thing I've heard of called sexism. It seems very wrong.
And then, so at the end, he convinces her to not go on this trip.
Also, he's pretty terrible the whole time.
And then he just, like, holds her hand. And that's how it ends. And then, like, in the middle of a street.
A crosswalk.
And I was so mad.
In that show's defense, one of the best meet cutes in K-dramas with the goldfish.
They
Although
do have a very
I do
cute
think a lot
cute.
About, like, did that goldfish survive?
I don't think that fish lived.
Great, no.
Yeah.
But anyway... Yeah, we have some holes to pick in that show. Someday, maybe in like our 50th episode, we should like revisit Pasta because it was our first. And we obviously have some things to unpack. But they were great. Their chemistry was great. Even though he's kind of terrible. And she's not a weak character, but she's a shy character.
Timid.
She's a strong conviction, but she's very timid. And it's a very interesting dynamic. Mm-hmm. She manages to feel... not like a weakling.
Right.
I don't know. Does that mean her manner's a bit weak, but
agree.
Did you ever watch Jelousy Incarnate?
I did.
Okay.
Wait, that was a breast cancer show.
Yes. Wonderful.
Well, okay. So many thoughts there because if you can't have chemistry with that lead actor.
Oh, he is.
I mean,
amazing.
He could kiss a rock and I would want to be that rock in my next life.
It's so Me too, actually. He is... I'm looking up his name because I can't remember. Jungkook.
Yes.
He was just in a movie called... Or not a movie. A show called Two Cops with Heirs. But he and the second male lead had amazing chemistry. I mean, he really does play off of other actors so well. And oh my Ghostess.
Oh my Ghostess.
Park Bo-young.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone. Such good chemistry with everybody.
If you haven't seen, I don't think we've ever talked about Oh My Ghostess on this podcast.
I don't think so either.
How is that possible?
Which I'm kind of surprised it's never wiggled its way into either of our top 10s.
I think it's because we thoroughly enjoyed it. It wasn't like our top show ever.
No.
But it wasn't a show that we could make fun of either. So it's like in that safe nested area.
It's just really well done.
It's a really good show.
Yeah.
Nothing in my life brings me more joy than seeing a grown man throw a temper tantrum.
Oh, he is hysterical.
And he throws so many in that show.
He does in Jealousy Incarnate too, I think. He always plays this, and I'm not saying he always plays the same character, but he always plays characters who have this similar affectation of being like just all of a sudden very animated and angry. Mm-hmm. And he does it in such a beautifully contained way. It's so much fun to watch.
Yes. Because I think as an actor, that's a very easy thing to overdo.
Yes.
And he doesn't. He very clearly walks that very narrow path.
He has that Al Pacino energy about him. That like, you're like a little worried he's always going to burst or just freak out.
Yes.
But he never quite does. It's a really dynamic energy. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's great.
He's great. But we're not talking about him.
No, Gong Hyo Jin. But again, it's like, I'll just read the ones I wrote down. Producer, she has great chemistry with both of those guys. Mm-hmm. And then Master's Son. And that's just a handful of shows where I was like, man, I believe that they are really in love. She makes me believe she could make anybody fall in love with her.
She is very... So I have a few more to add to your list. Mm-hmm. It's Okay, That's Love.
But heartbreaking
show. That tackles mental illness
and
many aspects of mental illness, which I believe there's a huge stigma around in South Korea. So the fact that they even tackle it is great.
Yes. And her performance in that show, that character, blew me away. I didn't.
Yes.
We all know I didn't finish it because it got too serious, and I had to run away because I'm
Becca
a child.
watched it like 5 times. I thought it was so good.
Because you're a mature adult who can come to terms with
who
things.
believes that love will overcome all obstacles.
And I'm like,
maybe you're just a realist.
I definitely don't believe love will overcome all obstacles. I believe it'll overcome some, but this is getting away from the chemistry thing into the fact that she's just an incredible performer. But I was totally blown. What a nuanced character. It was so interesting.
Both of them. So that was her and Jo In-sung.
Yeah.
And their chemistry. So, and
that
then
was some
the other
sexy
one.
Chemistry.
That's some
Heated.
after hours. Pour
Yeah.
yourself a glass of wine.
Yeah. K-dramas by night.
Close the curtains. Maybe just kind of rest yourself a bit.
Just
Really, really relax.
Let your mind be free.
And then push that play button, baby. It's sexy mixed with mental illness,
Yeah, you
but
know,
like in a good way.
We all need a balanced diet.
Balanced diet. It's so good.
Romance
But anyway,
and realism.
the other one that I want to add to that list is Hello, My Teacher.
Oh,
Because it's her. Guys, it's the year of the gong. It's Gong
It
Hyo
was.
Jin and Gong Yoo. And it's
Okay.
an old show that I had to buy on Amazon. And I'm pretty sure it was like a terrible bootleg copy. I don't think it's a legit thing. But I've watched that show so many times. And their chemistry is so good.
If anyone in the Korean entertainment industry is listening to this, which let's face it, you probably are. Please, I beg of you, give Gong Hyo Jin and Gong Yoo a show together because they were incredible in Hello, My Teacher. And that premise made me uncomfortable. And I was still like, this is great chemistry.
Yeah. So the whole premise is she's a teacher.
And she's like a straight out of college teacher, right?
She's
like,
a very
like
new
22
teacher.
or
But
something.
Gong Yoo is a high school student.
Yeah.
And they end up, he pursues her. In her defense, she does not pursue him.
No.
But by the end of the show, they end up getting together.
Yeah, there's like a time jump, right?
There's a small time jump where he's already served in the military and stuff. But still, Megan's mom is a teacher. And Megan would randomly text me like, as somebody who's related to a teacher, I have some ethical issues with this show.
I feel weird watching this.
But their chemistry's off the
Amazing.
charts.
And really, Gong Yoo would have been the obvious choice for my actor who has chemistry with everyone. And I put a bunch of his shows on the list because he really does have chemistry with everyone. But with Gong Hyo Jin, it's different. I feel like I'm sure it's partially the character, but there was something so much more open about him in that show where I feel like sometimes it's sexy, but his characters are like closed off and damaged. And
that's a great point because in Hello, My Teacher, he's just like this freewheeling 18-year-old kid.
Here it all is. Just take it all.
It's beautiful.
I love watching him in that movie.
He very much so has his heart on his sleeve.
Yes.
Unlike most K-dramas where it's the other way around, where the guy is closed off and the girl wears her heart on her sleeve.
Let's put a pin in that because actually the show that I put on my list is one of my favorite Gong Yoo dramas with the best chemistry is actually Big. And a lot of people don't like that show. And I'm like meh about it because the ending is bonkers. But his chemistry with, come on, Megan. Every time with this specific actress.
No, I'll look it up for you. Go ahead.
Their chemistry is amazing. And I think it's, again, partially because he's playing like a 17-year-old in a like 30-year-old's body. Mm-hmm. It's a body swap. He's so open and vulnerable and kind and goofy, and it's so different from how you usually see him.
It's Lee Min-jung. Why can we never remember her name?
I don't know, because she's super famous, and I've watched her in multiple things.
Monkey from...
It's Monkey, you guys.
Monkey from Boys Over Flowers.
Monkey finally gets her moments, because Lee Min-ho might have dumped her for Goom John-D, but she gets Gong Yoo. Well,
so she comes out ahead.
Don't start with me, because does she get Gong Yoo? Who knows what happens at the end of that show. That show, the ending of Big is so confusing.
I thought it was a great show. Anyway, we'll come back to Big.
Yeah. Sorry.
We're going to finish. Gong Hyo Jin, the other thing I wanted to say about her is she is that one actress. I'm not kidding you. After every single show I see her in, I end up Googling, did she date? And I type in her co-star's name because their chemistry is so
incredible.
good. And then almost all these shows have like some behind the scenes or like an extra episode of like bloopers and stuff like that, and her chemistry off camera with them is so good that I'm convinced
Yeah.
They dated. And
Yeah.
I've read so many interviews with Soji Sub after Master Son where he only says the most beautiful things ever about Gong Hyo Jin. I'm like, did they date?
She must just have that effect that some, like, rarely you find it, but people have, where you just fall in love with them. Man, woman, child, it doesn't matter, but you just, like, radiate this affection and people just love you.
What's that like, Megan?
No, I was just going to ask you the same thing, Becca. And she's funny, actually, with Gong Yoo. They're in the same agency.
Yes.
And people are always starting dating rumors with Gong Yoo and random actresses. And I think there was some thing recently where it was another actress in his agency and they were saying that they were dating. No, they said they got married secretly or something. And everybody was asking about it. They didn't. But then Gong Hyo Jin was like, how come nobody ever starts dating rumors about me and Gong Yoo? It's like, good question, girl.
Wouldn't you love it if they just came out one day and they're like, we've been married for 20 years.
Oh my God. I feel like that's my dream couple. Like my dream
the two
K-drama
Gongs.
couple is I just want Gong Hyo Jin and Gong Yoo to get married.
And Megan and I, after we watched Hello, My Teacher, Googled their ages, and they were born within 6 months of each other.
Yeah.
And so we joked that it was the year of the gong.
The year of the gong.
The year of the gongs.
What?
But then it
Who was
turned out Gong Yoo was born in 1979, like at the end of the year, and she was born 6 months later in 1980. And so I was like, oh, I'm still going to say it's the year of the gong.
Man, I'm really happy that we started talking about Gong Yoo because I feel like a sense of calm wash over me every time he comes up.
I feel like going back to our last episode, he's like our Jimin, where he just gets popped into every conversation.
Somehow.
Like, you remember when Gong Yoo did that?
And
you're talking about like planning your future finances. Yes. You're like, guys, I got to tell you what this guy named Gong Yoo did.
I bet Gong Yoo has a great 401k. He's super secure financially. He's just special. He's just special.
He's special.
He's
just
like
Jimin
and
Our Lady of the Chemistry, Gong Hyo Jin.
K-dramas, Gong Hyo Jin. So do you want to guess him, or did you have more shows to add for her?
That was it. That's the thing, though, is I was going to guess your male lead, and I'm not looking at your paper, was Gong Yoo. I'm shocked that it wasn't, and I'm trying to think now who it would be. Is it somebody that I like?
Yes.
Is it somebody that I get the appeal of?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Am I going to kick myself if I don't remember who this is?
I don't know. You might disagree with me.
All right, lay it on me because I have no idea.
I think, consistently speaking, Lee Min-ho turns on the chemistry.
How did I forget?
With anybody.
Lee Min-ho.
Anybody he works. So the one I wanted to talk about was personal taste.
I have Lee Min-ho'd you, Megan.
You are a Lee Min disappointment.
I am so sorry. I forgot about Lee Min-ho.
You could never disappoint me.
I'm so sorry. I feel like I've let you down.
You haven't. I'm pleased because I want to know if you agree.
Okay. Well, as soon as you said it, I was like, well, clearly. I guess I just kind of think of him as like a king of K-dramas.
Well, I think I was thinking...
It's been a while since I've seen a show with him
Which
in
is
it.
fair.
Yeah.
I think that part of it is every time I watch a show with him where at first I'm like not sure about the characters, especially the female character, like Goomjeon D, I'm like, who is this dodo bird? She's so stupid. Or what's another? Oh, the Heirs, where I'm like, whoa, this girl whines.
Park Shin-yee's character.
She's so
terrible
whiny.
in Heirs.
But the way his chemistry with his co-stars is so magnetic that like, oh yeah, I'm falling in love with them too. And I'm like, I totally get why you're in love with them because you have made this so clear. And I feel like I get why he just turns something on where you're like, okay, I'm fully behind this now because their interaction is so great. Mm-hmm. And personal taste came up for me because that was another one where I'm like, I don't even know what this show really is.
Yes.
And we've never really talked about this show before either.
Not on this podcast.
No,
we've talked about this show
extensively. That would be another good one to do a whole episode on.
Oh my gosh, that has to be our next recap.
Because
personal taste.
I would love to actually rewatch that one because it's bonkers.
It's bonkers.
It's totally bonkers. But he plays. God dang it, Megan! I gotta look up her name. I just watched a show with her in it. But the whole premise is that he's a very un-Lee Min-ho like character. I feel like Lee Min-ho is always playing really fast talking, smooth, handsome, reckless.
Oh, and personal taste, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very like standoffish. and very
kind of mean,
almost like a no personality. Like he's just all about his work.
Yes,
and nothing. Not even in like a master son Soji subway. Just like he just really could care less about anything. He just likes being an architect.
He has like one friend.
Yeah.
Son Ye Jin is the girl.
Yes.
She's from Something in the Rain. And that was the first thing I'd seen her in. And she's very lovable, but the character is really dorky. Mm-hmm. Son Ye Jin's character. Excuse me.
Megan's burping into her elbow.
I'm very excited. So the whole time, I feel like when I started watching, I'm kind of like, I don't know what this is. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I'm relating to these characters. But the minute their chemistry is just off the charts, because they don't even like each other at first, but you're like, oh, I'm in for this ride.
I know.
I'm ready to buckle up and take it all, because you can just see it's like this. It's visceral. It's very intense.
It builds. You can feel it coming.
And who doesn't love to see a jerk like him get torn down into a love-stricken puppy? But that one was the one where I feel like I'm sure I'd seen Boys Over Flowers already, but that one really stuck with me as like Lee Min-ho is good.
He's something to behold.
Mm-hmm. The only time I've ever was kind of on the fence about chemistry, and it was only in moments, was when he did that mermaid show.
I was just gonna bring that up. I never finished that show, and I should have. It's one of the 3 I've never finished, and I probably will go back and finish it. I don't know. It's just missing something. They're so pretty. There was just literally half the show was shots of them doing like the cover girl shot, like just close-ups of their face with wind. I'm not even kidding, guys. If you haven't seen that show, Legend of the Blue Sea.
Yes,
there are so many shots of him looking at her or her looking at him, and it's like 30 seconds of just camera zoomed in on their face and their hair's blowing in the wind, and I'm like, I don't know how to feel right now. I don't know if I'm supposed to be marveling at their beauty because they're obviously stunning human beings, or if I'm supposed to be feeling something.
Don't you think that it's almost like nobody knows what to do with them, because they're this weird combination of both being extreme good actors, outrageously good looking, and hysterically funny.
Yes.
Because those are 2 excellent comedians also. Yes. Lee Min-ho's very funny, but Jun Ji-hyun is hysterical. Her physical comedy is unreal. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's almost what it was I was like, I don't really know I feel like nobody knows quite what to do with them in this context. Because it was funny, but it was very dramatic. And it was just like a lot of repetition where you're like, oh my God, we already established this.
Yeah, there's just a lot of back and forth with like a time period swap.
Jin Young from GOT7 was in that show. Yes. He played young Lee Min-ho.
Yeah, I was just very confused by it all. However, so I watched Heirs first. Mm-hmm. Then I think I watched Boys Over Flowers.
You watched Heirs first?
That was my first Lee Min-ho show.
Well, that's a good gateway to Lee Min-ho.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Then I finally watched City Hunter.
I've never watched that.
Okay, guys. If you haven't seen City Hunter, yes, it's a political thriller.
Is that
However,
Park Min Young?
Park Min Young is in it.
Okay.
Their chemistry, like, my brain exploded.
Really?
And then I drank it, and then it reformed, and it exploded again. It was so good. There's a part in the middle, spoiler if you haven't seen City Hunter, where she ends up getting shot. ? Stabbed. She gets hurt.
She's critically injured.
Yeah, she's bleeding profusely. And so they go to this like vet clinic where they both have a friend, and he has also been shot? Or injured?
Critically injured.
And the vet is like, she needs blood and she needs it now. And Lee Min-ho does that thing that I love where his eyes don't blink, but tears form and just start spilling down his face. And he stands up and he rips the arm of his shirt off and he's like, just take my blood, just take it now. And she's like, you will die. Like, you are also injured. And he's like, I don't care. I'm the universal donor. Take it now. And like, and it's like the sexiest thing ever.
He would give me his blood.
It's amazing.
Man, I gotta watch that.
I got goosebumps reliving the scene of that show.
Twitter pated over here. That was Beautiful.
But anyway, moral of the story.
They did date.
Great chemistry. And they did date.
In real life.
In real life, yes.
I feel like that's confirmed that they really dated.
Yeah, they really dated.
Yeah.
There's
Which
paparazzi
also,
pictures and stuff.
Way to go, Park Min-young. She is my age, and he is younger than us.
And follow up, if you watch City Hunter, next then, because I was on a Park Min-young thing, and I'd run out of Lee Min-ho shows, I watched Healer.
Oh, that's on my list.
And it was back-to-back great dramas with amazing chemistry.
Park Min-young should be one of those actresses who her chemistry is off the charts, except, and somebody asked me to explain why I stopped watching What's Wrong with Secretary Kim. Mm-hmm. We'll save it for later. That's the only time where I didn't feel it pop off the screen with Park Min-young. Because like Sung Kyung-kwan's Scandal, incredible chemistry with Park Yoo-chun. Healer and Ji Chang-wook, incredible chemistry.
Yep.
And then the one you just said, but I feel like there was a third one.
She's been in a lot of shows.
But you're right. She has a similar to Gong Hyo Jin kind of like aura about her that's very lovable.
She's a cutie for sure.
And she's very versatile. I feel like I find her versatile as an actress.
I wouldn't say no to being her for a while if she wanted to trade lives for a couple days.
She's technically older than me.
It's a beautiful thing.
Makes me feel good. It's by like 10 days.
But yeah, Lee Min-ho.
He's pretty charismatic.
I don't think I'm going to argue any points that you made. I think we just have our winners. I think we have our king and queen of chemistry.
Yeah.
Get out the lab
We're going to
coats.
think of like 10 more people who are like, oh, you know who else could be that? And I'm sure partially it's because K-dramas are just written so well that chemistry is built into the characters. But I don't know. There are a bunch of actors working right now who just seem to, like, the passion just flies off the screen and smacks you in the face.
Mm-hmm. Part of it, too, I think, is just the whole idea of K-dramas because they're so chaste and innocent.
And that build-up is so intense.
That anticipation is a killer.
It's the Mr. Darcy effect.
It's totally the Mr. Darcy effect.
It's Pride and Prejudice where you're like, come on already.
Just give me anything.
Just tell each other how you feel. How many times, friends at home, do you just yell at the screen? Just tell him.
Dodo bird, open up your mouth and tell her that you like her.
All of this could have been avoided if you had just passed a note that said, do you like me? Circle 1.
Yes.
Yes.
Or yes.
Or yes. Yes or hells yes. It's just like, I know that people avoid confrontation and you don't want to get rejected, but I feel like, man, usually like a few murders and like a house fire and like all kinds of corporate espionage.
Reliving childhood traumas.
All could have been avoided if they had just been like, oh, by the way, I got a little crush on you.
My dad said I could borrow his car. I got paid this week. You want to go to a movie on Friday?
Let's go grab a burger. That's all you gotta say.
This is good dating advice. We don't shell out a lot of good advice on the show.
Don't.
But this is practical advice.
Just be honest.
Sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, if you like somebody, you just gotta kind of be honest.
We're saying this. How many people have you told you liked them first?
Pretty much everybody.
Oh, really?
I'm a no holds barred girl. Always have been.
Oh no, I'm like I date them for 2 years and then I'm like, by the way, I like you. And they're always like, oh, I thought we'd established that. I was like, well, I hadn't said it. So just so you know, I've decided I do.
You're either a Megan or a Becca.
16 years into our relationship, I say the other L word. But that's way down the road.
Lollipop?
Lollipop. Will you please eat this lollipop while I watch?
That was weirdly more specific
than you meant for it to be. Oh, I'm sorry, everyone. That was uncomfortable.
I love that so much.
Anyway. You know who has good chemistry? You and me, Becca.
You and me have great chemistry,
Megan.
Megan.
Chemi queens.
Chemistry 101.
I feel like that's the name of a K-drama.
The name of our chemistry class would be Blood, Mail, and Science.
Male spelled M-A-I-L. I feel like it's a very important thing to specify. Blood male science. I hate this class already.
I weirdly love it.
Do you want to talk about some more shows with good chemistry?
I feel like we should give just a couple of examples, and Megan wrote down 90.
I wrote down a lot. Do you have any that come to the top of your head?
Yeah. So, yeah. There are honorable mention. Let's call them the prince and princess of K-drama chemistry.
I like that.
Megan won't agree with me at all because she never finishes their gosh darn shows.
Can't even argue with you because that is true about me.
Accurate. They are Hwang Jun and Ji Sung,
Couldn't say.
who were in Kill Me, Heal Me and Secret Love.
Oh.
2 shows where the chemistry... that's all I'm going to say.
I feel like
It's so good.
I haven't seen Secret Love, but I feel like I could say if you wanted to watch a show that I would hate,
That would be
go watch it. And it's not because it's a bad show, but Becca told me about the plot, and the whole time I'm just like, oh, it hurts.
Yeah.
It's so intense.
And in Becca's world, it's like, God, that hurts so good.
You love it.
When they fall in love at the end, it's so going to be worth the buildup of all this terrible stuff that happens to them between now and then.
I'm a quitter.
I'm all about that payoff.
I feel
I'm more
like,
of a marathoner. You're more of a sprinter.
yeah, I'm like, why are we running? Is what I'm more of what I am. I don't like this. I'm going to sit down here at the water tent and just watch the rest of you idiots run.
Oh, it's so good.
I feel like I want to watch it. I feel like that would be a whole thing. I should watch it just because you love it. And then, like, I would have to report back to you about how I felt watching it.
You should. And the thing is, if anybody is listening, I don't want you to think I'm giving out bad recommendations. Because we've had a few listeners email and be like, I think I'm more of a Becca than a Megan. And a few be like, I'm more of a Megan than a Becca.
Yeah.
So it's dramatic.
It's not a bad show. I don't ever want anybody to think it's...
Yeah.
I don't hate it because it's a bad show. I hate it because it's dramatic.
There's so many things that happen. The thing is, like most K-dramas, and this is where you and I also differ, it takes me a good 3 or 4 episodes before I'm invested at all. Mm-hmm. Like, it takes me a long time to get past those first 3 or 4. And that was one of those shows where I think... definitely by like episode 7 or 8, I was invested. But it was like the first few episodes, it took me a while to get into it. Yeah,
because you'll give it a chance. I feel like I do dip out of shows if I don't get that first 2 or 3 episodes. Don't hook me, then I'm also, all it takes is a handsome face.
See, and that was me. I had just watched Kill Me, Heal Me, and I was like, I need more Ji-sung in my life right now.
I've sat through some pretty terrible shows just because I was like, you're so pretty. I love your face.
So... they both have
excellent,
amazing chemistry.
I haven't watched a ton of Ji-sung shows, to be perfectly honest. But
Protect the Boss?
I haven't seen that one. My mom
Protect
watched
the Boss? You didn't watch that show?
I saw episodes of it, but not in order.
Oh, it's super good. It's super fun. It's so not
I feel
a
like
Becca
I would
show.
like that one.
It's super fun, super lighthearted.
And he's very like goofy and
and the lead actress is the character. The actress is great, but the character
is awesome.
Is so much fun. She's like a no nonsense girl. I just love it.
I watched her in something else. I'm pretty sure.
Isn't she the one in?
Is she in High School?
Divorce Lawyer and Love?
I didn't watch that one.
I don't know. We're getting all of our shows confused.
Yeah.
We should just stick to what we know.
So many shows.
I know.
But Hwang Jung-eum, I've seen enough of her shows to say that I do agree with you. She does have excellent chemistry. Mm-hmm. My mom just finished The Undateables because my mom, have I mentioned this, is all in on Nam Goong-min.
Is she?
She loves him. She calls him her guy. She's like, oh, that's my guy. And I'm like, oh, I guess somebody's...
Fickle Marilyn. Ji-sung used to be your guy, too.
She's in on Nam Goong-min. Ji-sung took too long to come out with a new show.
I know he did.
Nam Goong-min has been giving us the content that we crave. But that's Hwang Jung-eum, and they did have very good chemistry. I should finish that show.
That's a good one.
I'll watch it for you.
Thank you. It's really good.
I'm trying to think if there's an equivalent show that I would love that you would like have to like force you. I feel like some of the really goofy ones you might be like, oh, what is this?
You know what's funny is the only show that you recommended to me that I just did not that I didn't care for,
just didn't really
Just
get.
strike a chord for me was the piano one that you loved.
That's on my list.
Is it called Secret Love
Secret
Affair?
Love Affair.
And again,
which is so funny because it's so dramatic.
it's super dramatic. In your defense, I always watch them at night, and it's a dark show.
It is. It's
and
slow.
It's full of slow piano music. So I always fell asleep. And in the morning, I'd wake up and I'd be like, well, I fell asleep and he was playing piano. Well, that's the whole show. I could never find out where I left off. And I finally was like, screw this. I'm gave up.
Yeah, that I did put that on the list because the chemistry is
I will give you that. Their chemistry.
on fire.
And it's a Noona romance, ladies.
And it's not like a Noona romance. It's like a 40-something,
Like
40-plus-year-old
they're
woman
having
and
an affair.
a 22-year-old guy. Like she is much older
Maybe
than
that's
him.
why I felt like it was so naughty.
It was
not
very-
that I think if that's what makes
very
you happy in
naughty.
life and it's
And
all
that's not even,
consensual,
like-
that's fine.
That's not even like the naughtiest thing that she does in that show. She's like a criminal.
Yeah, she's kind of a bad character.
And that's what's so good about it.
That's so dramatic. Why do you like it?
I don't know. To me, it felt like more of like a Mad Men, which I loved. It was that like anti-hero who's doing things that in real life I would be like, no, don't do these things. But I'm kind of like, is she gonna get away with this? I kind of want to see if she gets away with this.
So you like shows that are more of a train wreck. You
Yes.
like to watch the crash.
Although it's almost
and
but
I enjoy the carnage.
and yes,
That's what
I
it
want to
is.
see it happening. You want to see the fallout.
I want to see the fallout.
and the yeah. I feel like also Secret Love Affair is decidedly sexier than a lot of K-dramas. So that kind
quite
of like,
naughty.
It is
For a K-drama.
PG-13.
Yeah, which means a 13-year-old could still watch it.
Triple X.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't even know what to say. UIN has excellent chemistry with everyone also.
Yeah, he does. That was a pretty fun show.
Yeah.
So that was mine. I just think Ji-sung and Hwang Jun-eum have off
Specifically
the charts
with each other
chemistry
or like with everyone.
with each other.
They do have excellent chemistry.
I think Ji-sung has good chemistry with a lot of his co-stars, as does Hwang Jun-eum. Am I saying it right? Yeah.
I believe so.
But
Hwang Jun-eum.
together, something about them together. That's another one where I had to look up if they were dating after the show. And then I was like almost disappointed because I found out he married a famous actress. And I was like,
yeah, he is married to an
"Aw."
actress. And she's married to like a golfer now.
Yeah.
Professional golfer. She was in a show with Ryu Jun-yeol right after Reply 1988.
Yeah, the Lucky
Romance.
Romance. Mm-hmm.
That one hurt too.
I didn't watch that whole show. I started that one too. That's
because it's about
you're
science.
talking about all the shows.
It's about science.
that I started watching and didn't finish.
I wanted to. Can I mention a Taiwanese drama that I put on this list?
Yes.
Did you watch In Time with You?
No.
I think you would like it. They remade it in Korea, and it's called The Time I Loved You, 7,000 Days.
Yes.
And I didn't care for the Korean one as much, that version. The story was a little drier for me, but In Time with You, oh, woof. Like, meow. That is some amazing chemistry because it's about two best friends for like years, like decades. They've been friends since childhood, and they have really been platonic friends. And then, as tends to happen, the guy kind of slowly gets feelings for her, and they're both. Did they both turn 30? I forget, but the excellent chemistry. I think Chen Bolin is the actor, and he is very good at pining. Like longingly pining.
I love
for her.
the pining.
Yeah. So if anybody hasn't watched that, I feel like that was a really great one. I loved it. I thought it was really good. And it's a good characters, good interesting characters that are very different and really reflect each other in good ways. It was great. I loved it.
Excellent. I thought of one more person
Let's hear
that
it.
I think deserves to be in the list that we have not mentioned yet. And I'm going to say her name wrong, and I'm really sorry. I'm not trying to say it wrong. Yoon-hee?
Oh, Coffee Prince.
Okay. So, guys, can we take one moment to talk about her and her chemistry? Because, number one, Coffee Prince.
Oh.
The girl pretends to be a boy.
Man, that might
and
be...
still makes Gong Hyo question his own sexuality because he loves her, which is a wonderful, beautiful thing. And it's an older K-drama. Like, that's had to be like groundbreaking material.
Controversial statement. That might be the best chemistry I've ever seen on screen between Gong Hyo and Yoongi.
It's amazing. Amazing.
You can feel it. It like guts you.
Yes.
It's so intense.
But also, she was in the show I Miss You with Park Yoo-chun,
which I still haven't watched.
And guys, even that show, if you haven't seen I Miss You, was almost too much drama for me because, spoiler if you haven't seen it, in one of the first episodes, it might have been episode 2 or 3, I think I texted you.
You did. You want to know why I haven't watched it? Because Becca was telling me what was happening. I was like, I can't do this.
Okay, guys, listen up. She gets kidnapped, raped, and hit by a car in the span of 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I was still into watching what happened after.
She was giving me updates.
She's such a good actress.
She's incredible. Oh, I can't wait till she does another drama. It's been years.
It's been a long time. I read somewhere, though, afterwards, because then I Googled, because her chemistry was so good, did she and Park Yoo-chun date? I guess she had a lot of depression while shooting that show. Which,
well, gosh, I can't imagine
how can you not if you really live your character? That's a very depressing topic. But and then I think for a while she was just kind of off the grid.
Yeah,
which is probably a good thing.
I kind of got that impression
for herself. Yeah,
too. Which she was so massively popular. Also, I feel like it's an overwhelming level of popularity.
Mm-hmm.
Coffee Prince just is a class of its own, and I feel like that was not her problem, but that must have skyrocketed her to a place that it was really weird.
Yeah,
but yeah, from what you told me, because I started it and they were still kids before I quit. Like the adult actors weren't even there yet. Because the first couple episodes, they're kids, right?
Yeah, they're kids, and they go back to the past, and it's a whole thing.
Very sad watching it.
It's really good though. But again, it's one of those things where I'm like, was it really good, or was I just going through my Park Yoo-chun phase where I would have watched anything that he had been in?
I feel like there are lines you draw, because there were a couple Lee Min-ho shows where I was just like, no, I don't need to finish this, and I was full on obsessed with him right after I watched Boys Over Flowers and Heirs. Like, what was that? Faith was one. That one, I mean, I don't think it was bad, but I didn't finish it, even though he was so handsome.
I didn't watch that one yet.
City Hunter was too dramatic, so I couldn't.
See, I should watch Faith, and then in true Becca fashion, follow it up with the I can't think of his name now. The healer guy.
Ji
Chang-wook show. Empress Key. I should just go back to back. But I think Empress Key's like 60 episodes.
Oh my god.
I'll be watching that till Christmas.
I'll never see you again. Like, I can't. I'm watching Empress Key.
I'd be fine with it.
You know, it's funny because when my mom and I are looking for shows to watch, we'll click one, and then if we see it's over 25 episodes, we're like, nope. I just can't. I bet there are some really good ones out there. My mom's watched a couple 50-episode ones, but I move around too much. I need variety.
Mm-hmm. All right, what else made your list? I'm sure I'm forgetting something.
I'm gonna find one that we both liked, because I was just willy-nilly throwing stuff on this list, to be perfectly honest, because there were so many. Actually, this one I kind of wanted to ask you about. So again, a show where I think they kissed maybe one time.
Ooh.
And the romance really wasn't even...
Got my attention.
It wasn't even the focus of the show, but D-Day.
D-Day was good.
The character, the Kim Young-kwang character, and then the female surgeon, I felt like I kept watching that show because I was so drawn to their relationship.
Here's the thing that disappointed me about D-Day. Their chemistry was so good. I was convinced it was going to soon turn into a show about them.
Yeah.
And it never did.
No.
And I was almost disappointed. And I'm like, you're wasting their chemistry.
Because
they're so good
there's
together.
There's this scene where, so if you're not familiar with the show, which I feel like it's maybe a slightly lesser known show, but if you like...
It's on Netflix right now.
It's on Netflix. Mm-hmm. I usually hate medical shows, but this one was fascinating because it takes place if a huge earthquake hits Seoul. And then all of these medical professionals and then also there's like a fire department storyline. They all have to respond to these things that are happening because of this earthquake. It's super interesting.
And it's heartbreaking.
It's a
feeling
very
of desperation
sad.
Because when we say earthquake hitting the city of Seoul,
like
hardcore, like
magnitude 9 or something.
it disables the city of Seoul. So
Yes.
they don't have running water. They don't have electricity. They don't have hospitals. And they're running around and trying to save people's lives with none of these things.
They have nothing. And this was was this the first time I saw? No, this was, who am I kidding? I was already obsessed with Kim Young-kwang. But he plays a surgeon, and then the female surgeon,
I know. We didn't write down anybody's names, and we should have. First off, she's beautiful.
She is. It's because when I was writing this
smaller
list,
than my pinky.
She was
the
in because
cutest
this is my
little
first
thing.
life and made me fall even more in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
But when I made this list, I'm like, oh, I remember their names. It'll be totally fine. And then I get here and I get stage fright and I forget. K-drama cast. But Jung So-min, I love her. She's definitely on my girl crush list when we get to that episode. And they're transporting somebody by ambulance, which is already difficult because the roads are all messed up.
Yes, the roads are destroyed.
And they have no gasoline. I mean, it's amazing. And at one point they get stuck in some kind of little sinkhole and everybody's trying to get the ambulance, the back tire out of this hole. And so, spoiler alert, they're behind this ambulance and they're pushing and pushing and pushing. They finally get it out. And literally the whole show, this is maybe halfway through, you're like, oh my God, kiss. Or do something, go back to that break room and snuggle or something. I need something.
Hold hands.
Anything.
Do
Anything. And he just out of nowhere leans down and kisses her. And it's super smoking hot and beautiful. And then that's it. I don't even think they
That's it for the rest of the
acknowledge
show.
it. I don't even think they talk about it. They just, and it's partially amazing because it's happening in the heat of the moment and everything's so tense and the tension is, you could cut it with a knife, not just the sexual tension, but there was an earthquake tension.
Yes.
So I feel like that one really stuck with me as a whole, it was jumping off the screen at me how good they were together.
Yes.
I haven't thought about that show in a while.
He's really a beautiful human being.
He is up there on my list for sure.
Megan kind of held him back from me for a long time.
I wanted him to be my all mine's.
I don't remember what I saw. I
drink
saw
of
something,
water.
and I was like, I think
Did
I
I-
watched D-Day, and you're like, oh my gosh, this guy, I was obsessed for months, and I was like, when? And
Did
you were
I-
like, earlier this year, and I was like, you never told me that.
Did I not make you watch Sweet Stranger and Me?
I watched it after D-Day because you never told me about him.
And also Go's Starry Night. He was in a short web series. Everybody go watch it. Hello, Kim Young-kwang. He was one of those guys that was a model first. He's so handsome.
He is a very handsome guy.
And he's so charming. He's
but goofy.
really goofy.
He's got a Magoo quality about him.
yes, because he's so lanky and tall. And you're
Yes.
just what do you do with all those legs? But I'm always impressed with his performances. I'm always kind of blown away by his performances. But yeah, Sweet Stranger and Me actually also made my list of great chemistry. But I think that's partially because of the character. It was just the perfect man, basically. In love with one person since he was a child, would do anything with her, including marrying her mother so that she doesn't have to lose her house. Who hasn't done that for a person?
If we had a nickel for every time that happened in our
just
lives.
your average nice guy off the street. So that one was on there. Do you want to talk about Big anymore? Or should we just save that one for a whole recap?
Yeah, that might be a good show to do a recap of. Big was great, but again, it's just Gong Yoo being Gong Yoo and having great chemistry with anybody, with Monkey from
Also-
Boys Over Flowers.
I'm gonna say he was in the best shape of his life in that show.
Gong Yoo in that show.
There's nothing to say.
You've rendered me speechless.
We have come to a point where there's nothing to say because he just looked gorgeous.
People hated that show.
And I don't think it deserves the
I'm
hate
still
that it got.
baffled by it.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't really know what happened. I feel like I was very confused. But the performances were so much fun, and I feel like their relationship was, well, I guess that's why people are mad, because it's a little ambiguous, the ending. Don't you hate it when K-dramas do that? I feel like it's a very popular thing.
There's a couple K-dramas, though, that did that. There's a couple of my favorite shows in general ended in a very ambiguous way. Kind of Mad Men. The Sopranos.
Yeah, which I've never watched,
Anybody
but
seen the ending
I know
of
how it
Sopranos?
ends.
I remember watching that with my husband, and I was looking at the clock, and the show came on at 10, and it was after 11, and it was the last episode, and we were watching it live. And I'm like, it's after 11. The show's ending any second. And I kept looking at the screen but nothing's being decided. Like, I was like waiting for it. And then the ending happened, and everybody that we were watching the show was stood up and were like, are you freaking kidding me? That's how Sopranos ends? And
it's so funny because I've never watched a single episode of that show, and I know exactly what happens because that's so famous.
It's
that last
so
scene.
famous now. But now I love it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest, it's the same with Big. And then The Winter That Wind Blows with Jo In-sung and song, perfect song, Kill Key, whatever, whoever. Yeah, I don't really. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, they had great chemistry, and the ending of that show, I watched it, and I was like, well, the ending was good. And our friend Irene had watched it, and I was texting her, and I'm like, I saw the ending, and she's like, didn't it make you so mad? And I texted back, no. And she kept saying, but people are theorizing that this is what that ending meant. And then I got kind of mad, not at Irene, but I was like, is that really what the ending meant? Because I did not put that together.
Okay, wait. Spoiler alert, everybody. Becca's about to tell me what happened.
Okay, so...
because I really want to know now. We've never talked about this.
In the show...
I don't even know what it's about.
Her character is blind, and he is not a good guy.
Okay.
He's kind of like a shady
He often
thief.
plays not great guys.
Yeah, and so the whole show, they end up falling in love. He ends up faking being her brother because she can't see him. And they end up falling in love, and he ends up taking care of her, and he ends up falling in love with her. And then at the very end, she's going to have a surgery to repair her eyesight, where she can probably see, but it's a very dangerous surgery.
Okay.
If my mind is... Guys, it's been years since I've seen the show. And then he is going to, like, go play this card game where he's going to win a bunch of money. It's going to be, like, his last time being a thief. And then he's going to be out of the game. Like, he's going to be done with it. And so he ends up getting stabbed, and she ends up going into the surgery. And then the next scene is he has a respectable job, like was his plan. He's like a waiter at a cafe. And there's all these beautiful cherry blossom trees, and it's like the windy, so they're kind of blowing off. It's like a very romantic setting. And then he goes to a table to serve tea to somebody, and it's her. Because for a while, he's just working, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, she died. Like, he's here alone and whatever. And it's her, so he serves her tea, and they smile at each other, and it ends. Now, Irene is telling me that, please, somebody, if you've seen the show, email us or social media us with your opinion. People are saying they both died. That's heaven.
That seems like a stretch.
That's heaven. Because
no, okay, wait.
When I go
would
back
you
and
be
look
waiting
at it,
tables in heaven?
I don't know, but it made me really mad. Where I'm like, I don't know. I don't think they died.
If I have to go to heaven and work, that is not heaven. That's not heaven. No working. Are you kidding me?
There's no work in heaven.
That's not heaven. That's a terrible portrayal of heaven.
So our chemistry class is called blood,
male,
blood, and science. And our religion class is called no work in heaven.
No work in heaven. I just want to be in a pile of kittens, like all day, every day.
Say kisses.
Oh, kitten kisses. I just want to play with kitties.
So anyway, I did not get at all. Maybe I'm just dumb.
Man, isn't it fascinating how a show can have an ambiguous ending like that, and then people can, on a large scale, come up with a really intense theory?
And then I Googled it, and she was right. Every single recap site I found was like, and then they both died because they were in heaven, and he was serving her coffee. And I'm like, nowhere in the subtitles did it tell me that they died.
Why would he be serving her coffee in heaven? That doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
If it was like a glossy rose-colored field of flowers and they like bounded up to each other crying, then I'm like, oh crap, they're dead. But if it's like...
Do you have to run in heaven, Megan?
Oh God, good point. There is no running in heaven. There's no moving in heaven. You're just laying in a pile of kittens. Or, well, I have some other ideas, but I'll save those for myself. Yeah, I feel like there have been a couple shows like that where the ending was ambiguous, and I started to read some of the fan theories about what happened, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Well, here's the other thing, though, and with Big. So the spoiler here, and I don't even know if it's a spoiler. I don't even know if I can describe it.
But it's so confusing.
There's two people, and then one dies, and so they swap bodies. So is he really dead? Is he not dead?
Like
is he a kid? Is he a doctor?
One of them's in a coma. One of them's... Well, so the kid's body's in a coma, and the kid's soul is in the doctor's body. So they assume that the doctor's soul is in the kid's body. And this isn't even the confusing part. You're like, okay, I can get on board with that.
Yeah. So at the end, she's waiting for Gong Hyo. Is it the doctor or the kid?
And that's the thing, is like she's fallen in love with the doctor's body with the kid inside.
Well, it's Gong Hyo's body,
right.
Naturally.
We've all fallen in love with Gong Hyo's body. But it's the kid's soul.
Inside of his body.
Right.
So then something happens where the kid's might have gone back to his own body, which is dead.
Right.
Because he drowned. Or it could be the doctor, which I'm pretty sure she was engaged to anyway.
She was, but he was kind of a douchebag.
I think he just worked a lot.
Yeah, and he was just like, there was like a lot of questions about if he really cared about her, which were a little weak.
So here's my thing though. I think when I saw the ending of the show, and anyway, he gets off a bus and it's raining and he holds up an umbrella over her and you see her face and you see his hand, but then like the umbrella goes up and then it like cuts out.
But I forget why anybody thought it was the doctor in the doctor's body.
I think the point is...
Well, don't they both wake up? I feel like the kid gets sent back to...
Nobody really knows.
The kid, like, had just come from the U.S. They send him back to the U.S. and, like, he probably wakes up because Gong Hyo also goes to the U.S. I think they're related. It's, like, the most convoluted thing ever.
But the thing that bothered me was people got so upset by it. And I was like, I just
people
watched,
hate it.
like, 15 amazing episodes.
Yeah.
I don't care whose body it is. Like,
yeah.
Either way, she's set. She's either in love forever with this kid in a doctor's body, or she's going to marry a doctor who works a lot but takes really good care of her. I just don't think she can lose. I'm not going to get mad either way.
Well, and I firmly believe that you can like a show and hate the ending. Mm-hmm. It's how many times have I said Reply 1988 is one of my favorite shows, but I will be danged if I ever say I like that ending, because it was the worst thing that's ever happened to me. We got a listener email today, and I'm way behind on emails. It was today, this very day, this day right here.
In Our Lady, in our
year of Gong Hyo Jin, Our Lady of K-dramas. I feel like I said, I'm super behind on emails because I wanted to take time to respond properly, but I was late to work because I was like, I gotta respond to this now. She just finished Reply 1988. She went through the same thing I went through, and it hurts. She needed a shoulder, and I needed to be there for her. I hope I was. I don't even know how I got here. Oh, but anyway, you can like a show and hate the ending. Mm-hmm. I liked Big, even though the ending didn't do it for me. Mm-hmm. There are a few shows where the ending has ruined it, but Big was not one of them for me.
See, I'm surprised you got to the ending of Big. Megan doesn't watch the ending of any shows.
I didn't watch the end of Big, but I did read the recap.
Yet to watch the end of My Love from Another Star, which is like a great ending.
But isn't that one ambiguous also?
No, it's beautiful because they're like, we don't know our future. It's so realistic. It's not like, well, is he dead or not? It's like, no, he's an alien and he could get sucked back to some other portal at any point in time, but we're just going to love each other while we can. I think that's a lovely ending. No. I want to high five all the writers of that show.
No, thank you.
Megan wants them to be in love forever in a pile of kittens.
They're never going to die. And when they do die, which is never, they'll just live in a pile of kittens.
Where there's no work or running.
Do you know what I'm thinking of as a pile of kittens is also that pile of laundry from the Spring Day music video. I'm like, we're all just laying around in the pile of laundry and there are kittens crawling around and BTS is there.
Well, Yoongi's there for sure.
Yoongi's there. He's been there for ages. He never left that pile of laundry. It was too far to walk.
Oh, anyway. I don't know where we even are anymore, but I think that's
This is what happens when Becca is a busy human with her job and her family, and Megan's like, oh, I'll prepare. And the preparation should just be writing down names of shows I've watched.
I think we should all thank Megan, everybody right now,
everybody.
Out loud, wherever you are.
Sorry.
Say, thank you, Megan.
Sorry, guys. This was disorganized.
No, this was fun.
It was fun. You're right. We have been focusing in on K-pop a lot. It feels good to talk about a drama.
I needed to talk about a drama because, guys, if you've watched Fight My Way and you're listening to this and it's still relatively close to the date that this podcast has been aired, please let me know that things are going to be okay with the second couple because it's hurting my heart.
Are you more invested in them than the first couple, do you think?
Kind of.
I've read that in a few interviews.
The first couple is so, I don't know, just blunt and cute, and they've been in love since they were kids. They just didn't know it. Then I'm like, oh, they're set. They were just being dum-dums.
Yeah.
But like this other couple has also been in love forever and actively dated and known they've been in love forever, and now things are not going well. And she's like standing up for herself for the first time ever, and he's realizing that he really messed up, and it's so good, but I want them to be okay.
I just got to the part, I think it's like episode 4 or 5, where he buys her that dress. Mm-hmm. And I totally get both
the pink dress.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's like, I don't want it. I don't know why you're buying it. They are fascinating. They're fascinating.
I just
they
think
almost
they're
feel like
so
they belong in
cute.
another show, though.
They're so cute.
Because I feel like that relationship is such a realistic relationship. Mm-hmm. Whereas the main one is like the dream relationship of like, oh, my best friend who's also that handsome guy over there.
We're both super cool and strong, and we can
amazing
take care
people,
of anything. Yeah.
Which none of my high school friends looked like that.
No. I wish.
Me too. My high school friends
we didn't go to high school
Napoleon
in Korea.
Dynamite. That's all it was. It's so unfair. It's like how I've never lived next door to a devastatingly handsome guy who's just instantly in love with me. Happens all the time in K-dramas.
It happens, Megan. We just weren't part of that lucky group.
Bitter. Bitter.
Anyway, should we try to play a game real quick?
Do you have one? Because I don't.
I came up with one, but we're going to have to do it on the fly.
Okay, I like that.
So, since we did just devote an hour and 10 minutes to K-dramas, it's okay to do a K-pop game.
Oh, heck yeah.
Right? All right.
Yeah, in honor of the Jintro drop-in today.
Yeah. Happy Jintro Day.
Happy Jintro.
I was thinking, speaking of Jintro,
Oh, I like where this is going.
we could do if BTS, speaking of chemistry, were like milestones in your relationship.
Oh, this seems very complicated.
So I think it could be fun.
We can do this.
I could start if you want like a better
get it rolling.
idea of where I'm going.
Really quickly, can I tell you that these games have seeped into my everyday life? Because today, I don't know how it came to my brain, but I had this thought of like, if I were a breakfast cereal, what would I be? And immediately I was like, off-brand Fruit Loops. And then I was like, why'd I do that? I don't know why.
That's a question for your therapist.
I'm
not sure I feel prepared to answer that question.
Cannot afford one. So anyway, healthcare in America, everybody. It's terrible.
Oh,
BTS's relationship milestones.
let's do this.
Jin.
I think because of the dad joke thing, Jin would be that note that you pass to your crush in elementary, middle, or high school with like a, do you want to go to prom with me?
Circle
yes.
one.
Hells yes.
Yes.
Or
no, but yeah.
no, but sure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I think Jin would be
That's
that
very
note.
sweet.
Because it's sweet,
Little
but like,
cheeky.
cheeky, kind of cheesy, but also like it's a little mysterious. We're like, did this really come from Jin? Because there's a lot of things like the Jintro where I'm like, there are aspects of your personality I have yet to uncover, my friend.
I love it.
So I think he would be that note.
Okay.
That the beginning of that relationship.
I actually think he would be farther into a relationship. Like, he's like after your first fight. So like the first time you make up.
Oh,
is
that's
Jin.
so sweet.
Because I just feel like he has that capacity of being someone who is not going to back down, but then would also be able to say, okay, I was wrong about that. And I feel like maybe it's because I feel like he's very mature at his core, not just because he's old as can be. The oldest person on earth.
Is he in Medicare yet?
He's like gotta be at least 95 years old. Jin is 26. Everyone talks about how old he is. But he also does seem older than he is sometimes. He seems younger than he is sometimes, and he seems older than he is sometimes. But because of that, he has a certain gravitas, I think.
Yes.
That to me, it would be that, like, the first time you make up after having a really big fight.
I like that a lot.
That would be Jin.
All right, Yoongi. I think Yoongi would be, it's this beautiful place in a relationship that is on paper is not beautiful. It's like you've already been married a few years, you got a couple kids, and life's kind of hard. You're busy, you got jobs. Yoongi is that middle of the night, like, are you going to get the baby or am I going to get the baby? Mm-hmm. But there's something so beautiful about
the teamwork
aspect of, like, one of you has the baby.
Like, this is my partner.
And yes, like, I just saw this beautiful string of GIFs the other day of Yoongi, like, taking out the trash and
I saw that
cooking
too.
Food.
Oh, it was so good.
Getting ice cream for the other members. And I was like, Yoongi is, like, the perfect partner where it's like he'll just man up, and if there's a dirty diaper, he's probably going to change it before you even know it's there.
Yeah,
and I think,
like, he complains the whole time, but you're like, but you're doing it.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to do that. You can't make me do it, but then it's done, and you're like, you literally just did it.
So I think Yoongi is that beautiful.
That's wonderful.
It's that beautiful everydayness where you're like, this is very special. Like, everybody has this, but everybody's is unique, and it's very special and beautiful.
You can tell that he's your bias by your answer, and my answer will also tell you exactly how I feel about Yoongi. He's like, when you're like, I don't know if he likes me or not. When there's that tension between you because you like really like him, and you're pretty sure he likes you, but sometimes you're like, oh God, no, he doesn't. What am I thinking? He's gonna break my heart. So it's that, like, you know, like when you're like at a party and he's like not paying attention to you, but it really felt like he wanted you to come to this party, and so you're like, well, am I crazy then, or what do I do? And then you're kind of like mad about it, but also just sort of sad. And then, like, because this is 2002 when I was in high school, and this was what happened later on, like, AIM, Instant Messenger, he's like, hey, why'd you leave the party? And it's like, because you weren't paying attention to me. Do you like me or not? But you type like, oh, I was tired.
And see, I would have been like, because you weren't paying attention to me. Do you like me or not?
Oh, were you there? I would totally have been like, I didn't even notice you were there. I'm sorry. I like had a really important call and had to leave.
On my 2002 flip phone, my Razor.
Sorry. You can't call me now because I'm on the internet, and that uses my phone line. Growing up in the early 2000s was so silly.
The good old days.
It really was the good old days. But yeah, you know what I mean, though. It's like the almost the most exciting part of that relationship, where it's like right before you're both honest with each other that you like each other, but you're still a little unsure, and it feels a little like exciting and terrifying, and you don't know what's going to happen next.
I like that.
He's that anticipation.
All right, J-Hope. I honestly believe J-Hope would be the first time you meet each other's parents, and there's
that's a great one.
Totally nervous excitement where you're like nervous, but you're trying to like get your blood pumping because you want to act energetic and be lovable in front of them, and then you end up just like tripping or falling or flailing your limbs in weird ways, and things just go oddly.
Perfect.
Like you're a nervous bundle of energy.
Yes.
That would be J-Hope.
For the exact same reason, I would say your first kiss.
Oh.
J-Hope's your first kiss. Because it's exactly the same reason. You're nervous, and it's like not even going perfectly, but it's perfect because it's so exactly what you want it to be. Mm-hmm. And it's just like over before you realize it, but you never forget it.
Yes.
That's J-Hope.
Oh, I like that.
But exact same reasoning you just said.
Okay, RM. I honestly think he would be the very first time you stay up all night talking together.
You answered exactly the way.
Is that really what you
Yes, the first time you really open up to each other.
Yes.
Like the first time you start to tell them things that you don't tell people.
Yes. And you're like, I hope you know how lucky you are. But at the same time, you're like, I'm so lucky that you're opening up to me. I'm so
lucky that I have this person that I can open up to, and that doesn't judge me, and that loves me no matter what. Mm-hmm. Exactly the same answer. 100%.
All right, Jimin.
I don't have an answer yet.
So I've been going over and over and over since we started this game a minute and a half ago. Okay, what would Jimin be? I think I'm going to have to just like end on, I think he would be the first time that like your hands graze and then they end up holding your hand. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Do you get that feeling
yes,
of like
yes.
just the utmost, like, oh gosh, I'm so thankful our fingers grazed. But then he grabs your hand and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like this is like real.
I think that is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
The only other one I would do would almost be like what you said for Jin with its like passing notes in class, or like that first, not the Yoongi, like, I don't know if he likes me, but the minute where you're like, oh my God, he likes me.
Mm-hmm.
Like with that disbelief of like such a perfect angel can like me. How many of us have felt that?
Mm-hmm.
Definitely not in high school. I didn't. Oh, a perfect angel likes me. It was usually like, that weirdo likes me.
I'm usually like,
I have to change my name and move out of the country.
You'll do.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I don't think any of my high school boyfriends are listening, but you were all great boyfriends.
I didn't have any high school boyfriends. I didn't. Oh, God.
All right. I have that V would be right before the relationship. Like your best friend, where you're like, I'm so glad that I have V in my life.
Yes.
Like it's that moment where you don't realize you've developed feelings, but they're simmering with Sungri right under the surface.
That hot tub of love.
I'd like to change my answer for Jimin.
Jimin in the hot tub of love.
Hot tub of love.
So it's like he's like the that moment. It's like the tunnel that you're going through from friendship to love, where you're like in the tunnel, so you don't know yet.
The birth canal of love.
The birth canal of love. You're about to shove a relationship out of your body.
I'm gonna go back to the hot tub of love. The hot tub of love
leads to the birth canal of love.
Birth canal of love.
That's so disturbing. I'm so happy.
And Sungri has a part in all of this.
He
That's all we need. He facilitates.
Again, why do we think of Sungri like this?
I hope you guys are taking notes. This will be on the final for male, blood, and science.
Blood, male, and science. Male is second most important.
Oh my God. What do you have for V?
I think V would be the first time you have an inside joke.
Oh.
So I feel like it's when you...
Oh, that's bringing me back to so many great memories.
I feel like it's you've dated long enough that you finally feel comfortable. Like the butterflies aren't gone, but they're subdued. Mm-hmm. And you have an inside joke that you say in front of a group of people, and it's that like smile between you and him, and you're like, oh, this is ours. This is just ours. It's that feeling.
I love that. Mm-hmm. All right. Your fave, Megan. Jungkook. I've got my answer.
You better say it.
He would be your first time. You can fill in the blank. Whatever your first time would be, I think that would be Jungkook, because it's a little bit of a mystery wrapped in an enigma of
That's very true.
What is going to come?
What is
hot,
this?
But where is it going? How far are we going?
Also,
and I feel like it's different in every relationship. Like you draw that line, but there's just a point where you get to it together and you're like, are we going to do this next step?
Yeah. Or are we going to talk about it?
Yeah.
I like that answer. I was going to say, though, it's like again, you can tell your bias is Yoongi and my bias is Jungkook, because it was like you've been together long enough where you literally just spend an entire day on the couch together.
Oh.
And that's it.
And you're matching hoodies.
You're wearing Puma hoodies.
And combat boots.
Combat boots. Also made by Puma, probably. But it's just like, that's all you want to do, is just spend a whole day doing nothing with someone.
I think that's magical.
He's the best way to waste a day.
Best relationships
that's
are the ones
the goal.
where you can just waste time, like us in this podcast.
That's the goal.
Let's just get together and waste time, Megan.
You're my favorite way to waste time.
You're my favorite Jungkook.
You're my favorite. Well, you're my second favorite Jungkook. Jungkook is my favorite. Jungkook. It's not personal.
I think that's all we have for today. Sorry, this was kind of like off the cuff, guys. It's been kind of a busy week.
I hope maybe you can get some recommendations, though. I know we're just throwing a lot of stuff out there. Or if you've seen all these shows, let us know what you think, too.
More importantly, if you have a show with amazing chemistry that we did not mention
where
today.
You can't believe how hot it is.
Hook your sisters up.
We can always use new shows.
Your Noonas need your help. And what I've been working on is on our website, coming very soon, we will have a watch list up that will list all the shows that we have both seen. And if you click on them, it will bring you right to their page on either Drama Fever, Viki, or Netflix. So you can, if you want to give a show a try and you see that it's on my list, you can just click it and it'll take you right there.
And always feel free to drop us an email or a message on social media if you're like, hey, I'd like a recommendation or whatever. We're happy to throw some at you.
We're super excited.
Yes.
So anyway, that's it. Our next podcast, we haven't really decided. We are either going to finish up Rooftop Prince.
Oh, we should wrap that sucker up.
Part 2.
Yeah. Let's wrap that puppy up.
Speaking of suckers, I had a sucker today at
What
work.
flavor did you have?
I had Fruit Punch Dum Dum.
Oh, that's right. Fruit Punch.
And it was a good one. It was from Megan.
Did you take like 1,000,000 selfies of yourself eating it?
I took 0 selfies.
Oh, Becca, what's the point?
But it was so good.
If a person eats a sucker and doesn't take a selfie of it, did it ever really happen?
I did, and I'm not kidding, and I'm embarrassed. I'm only admitting this to you and our listeners.
And everyone who's listening.
I did roll it on my lips once just to see what the fuss was about. It just got my lips sticky. I didn't really feel sexy. I felt sticky.
Well, there's something different about us and the K-pop idols. Somehow everything they do is sexy.
I don't think it could be sexy. I could kind of see myself in the reflection of my computer monitor, and I was like, that just looks like I'm getting my lips sticky.
I would totally try to pull that move and just drop it. And it would
it
it would literally stick on my boob. And it would just wouldn't come off my shirt.
I almost got it in my hair, and I thought, this is going to be awkward if I get sucker in my hair.
I'm an adult woman in the workplace.
Grown woman eating a gosh darn dum-dum at 3 in the afternoon.
Look, if grown men can go around doing it, absolutely you can too.
There's no ageism when it comes to suckers.
Take back suckers. Becca. You are a strong, powerful woman, and you're allowed to eat a sucker whenever you want.
감사합니다.
Not just for kids anymore.
Oh, wait. Thank you.
Yeah, yes. That's right.
I was getting my Korean words mixed up.
What did you think you were saying?
I thought I was saying I'm sorry, but that's miene.
Yes.
Miene.
Or there's another longer one. My brain's dead.
I only like the short one.
My brain's too full of science. Blood, mail, and science today.
Anyway.
Tumble bus and bags.
Tumble bus and bags. I had a sucker today, so
nice. I'm proud of you.
But anyway, we're either going to do Rooftop Prince Part 2.
Yes.
Or we've been talking about doing a Woman Crush Wednesday episode.
Yes.
Because we obviously spend a lot of time fangirling over the men.
We are some
But there are so
ladies.
many amazing females in the K-pop and K-drama industries that we feel we need to show a little bit of appreciation for.
I would love to talk about them.
I would love to talk about them as well. And then we had another topic, and now it's gone. So what you see is what you get. We'll let you know when we pick a topic. But anyway,
we're already 2 weeks out. We're good.
If you think of another idea, please email it to us.
Yes.
Or if you have contributions to either of those ideas that you would like us to include, please do so. Because I believe next week we're also going to start a new segment where we read some of our listener emails.
Ooh.
Because they are so good, I feel guilty keeping them to ourselves.
That's a great idea.
And if you don't want your name attached, we will be sure to ask you before reading your name on air. We would only use your first name. Mm-hmm. But we really would like some more recommendations on those topics. So if you have a woman crush recommendation or anything that you want to say about the second part of Rooftop Prince, because let's be honest, guys, we left on a cliffhanger.
We did, and we left on a cliffhanger, and then we're like, no, wait a month.
We did the Save Our Boys Over Flowers.
Yeah, we did.
We're like,
we definitely do that.
We just laughed. We lost 3 pounds from laughing, but we're going to make you wait 6 weeks before we come back.
It's I know this sounds stupid, but recapping the shows is very intense and exhausting.
I have a whole new appreciation for websites that do recaps because just us going back to read what happened in these episodes because it's been so long and we don't want to forget anything. It's exhausting.
It took a ton of time.
It takes a lot of time to do a recap episode.
Because, and it's like, you've heard our recaps there. We're like, well, and then something happens, and I think somebody's gone. Well, wait, hang on. So we don't even like go back and watch them. We're just remembering them from 5 years ago.
I go back and watch the steamy parts.
Oh yeah, that's all I watch.
So.
And the second part of Rooftop Prince is much more intense than the first part.
Yeah.
I want to tease my favorite thing. A refrigerated truck.
I was going to say, we didn't do the refrigerated truck, right? Because
I
have a lot to say about the refrigerated truck.
That was the first refrigerated truck we were introduced into a K-drama. Little did we know we would see many more refrigerated trucks throughout our experiences with K-dramas. And that's just one special thing that we look forward to discussing.
Fun fact. Did you know refrigerated places are the #1 killer of K-drama stars?
It is a well-documented
phenom.
It is real.
It is a huge problem that we plan on tackling.
Female characters in K-dramas are constantly getting locked in refrigerated crevices and outhouses and closets and vehicles.
Oh, it's
terrifying.
Gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I can't wait to talk about it. I'm very excited.
Me too.
So anyway,
well,
yeah, that's that. Oh, and another spoiler: Sena wears some fancy blazers,
and they just keep getting better. Fabulous blazers,
and her dumb haircut stays perfect.
Stupid haircut, and her pouty dumb lips. She's always just looks like she's about to cry. Which what do you have to cry about? You're the one being bad. It's infuriating.
I can't wait.
Ugh. Her and Taemu, I was thinking about this after we did the first part. They're so annoying because they both do that like horrified stare where
he does it too. I totally forgot.
They both do that thing where it's like they're about to get found out. They never do.
Their eyes grow in size almost to a cartoonish level.
They're just like blinking, like so much of blinking, and they're looking around like it's so annoying.
I think we just decided we're gonna finish Rooftop Prince next week.
Oh
I have to.
Yeah, we gotta. I feel like I'm ready now. Hang on, BTS just tweeted.
Oh, what did they tweet?
It is in Korean.
Oh, well, there's pictures of Jin.
I liked it anyway, even though I don't know what it says.
Anyway, Megan, do you want to take us out this week?
I do. I want to say that you should contact us on social media, Twitter at Noona Ya Business, Facebook at Noona Ya Business. You can go to our website, www.noonayabusiness.com. You can also email us, Becca at noonayabusiness.com, Megan at noonayabusiness.com. And please check out our sponsor's website, whoarted.com. That's who-arted.com. We also have something else that I'm forgetting. Yes, we do. Podbean, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. You can find us in all of those places. And if you do find us there, please leave a review. It doesn't have to be a good one. It should be. At least 2 stars, one for each of us.
One for each of us. That's our golden rule.
We're
here
gonna like say that, and then everybody's gonna go give us 2 stars.
They're gonna be
like
only ask for 2
for some
stars.
reason they just want 2 stars.
We would prefer 5.
I mean, all of the stars would be excellent,
but
we'll take 2.
It's your life. It's your life, guys.
Or you know what? If you want to leave us a 1-star review, please tell us why. Don't do it and then leave like that one person that did it. Why don't you like us? We're very nice. We're a little awkward, but we're so nice.
We're really nice.
We're like slap happy. We started out slap happy, and we've just grown progressively slap happier.
It's just been, I almost said Wednesday. I'm so
Wednesday. Except it's not. It's Thursday, and it's not even that, because when you hear this, it'll be Friday.
Well, whether you're having a great Yugium or you're celebrating your JB, TGI JB, guys. Whether it's your first episode or your 29th episode, very sincerely, Megan and I love having you here. Thank you for joining us at Noona Ya Business.